Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Owzstat. As the Premier Division hits the halfway point of the season, it appears that we may be in for one of the closest title races in recent times, 5 clubs separated by just 27 points. With such a tight race, as many spectators and club officials and players pouring through the weekly results to try and figure out who may come out on top. But don't worry, Owzstat is here to go digging into the data and see what we can find. With plenty of interesting stories and narrative to be written in the coming weeks, this video is taking a step back to look at the season so far for these 5 teams, as well as assessing where their strengths and weaknesses may lie. Following on from that, we are going to look at the first halves of the last 4 completed seasons. For the record, that's the 2022, 2023, 2024 and 2025 seasons, to see if they can give us any indicators to help guide who may be best set up for the title run. Stick around to the end and see our answers why this title race is too close to call. Before we get started on the team analysis, I just wanted to walk you through the methodology that we've used for this analysis today. So, I have extracted the ball-by-ball data directly from PCS Pro for the season so far, as well as for the first 11 matches for each of the last 4 completed Premier League seasons. I have then collated and analysed these data for both teams and individuals in areas of runs scored, wickets taken, and overall win-loss records. On top of that, for this current season, I've also assessed general results and narrative that have developed from the first part of the season. As is clearly said in this investment world, past performance does not guarantee future success. So don't worry, we won't be making any predictions from this analysis, only highlighting the trends that have been borne out from the season so far, as well as those that have shown up in these last few seasons. We start with the team currently top of the table, albeit only on net run rate at this point, in Townville. Last year's Priestley Cup winners have carried that momentum into this season, with 8 wins and only 1 loss, alongside 2 rain-affected games that ended without a result. Looking at the stats at a team level, they have scored the 2nd most runs, whilst losing the 4th fewest wickets, alongside taking the 4th highest amount of wickets when it has been their turn to bowl. No one tops their current tally of 38 batting bonus points, and they have the 3rd most bowling bonus points with 35. Looking at their record against their 4 title competitors, and you'll see that it is somewhat mixed, with one convincing win away versus Pudsey St Lawrence, but also one heavy defeat early on in the season against Bradford and Bingley. Whilst they had hoped that the rain would stay away a little bit longer in their game at Newfoundland to perhaps force a result, that game along with their home matchup with Woodlands ended up abandoned with no result. On the more optimistic side, they have come out of 3 of their 4 away games against these teams with 1 win, 1 loss and with no result, so they will be hoping to capitalise on home advantage when they welcome Bingley, Newfoundland and St Lawrence in the second half of the season. Looking at individual level, what's striking about Townville is the wide variety of different players who have contributed significantly to their success in this half of the season. 5 of their batters are amongst the top 20 run scorers for the division, and in all they have 6 batters who have scored at least 250 league runs so far, which is double the amount that 3 of their competitors have managed. On the bowling front, they also lead the league in the most bowlers to have taken at least 10 wickets so far this season, with 5 reaching that mark. Usman Arshad has proven to be a valuable contributor in this area after an early season transfer from Hoyland Swain, whilst the consistent Jack Hughes continues to lead the attack alongside the talismanic Connor Harvey. Looking at in terms of potential weaknesses for this side, this team has always been thought of as title challengers for the last 5 years, but has never been able to put together a consistent enough season to do so. Their heavy loss against Bradford and Bingley in Week 3, despite chasing a somewhat low total, shows that there still remains the potential for a collapse to cost them a victory, and they won't want to be dropping points to any of their competitors with a similar collapse later on in the season. Next up are Woodlands, a team matching Townville stride for stride points-wise at the top of the table so far. After their worst league finish in many seasons following an injury-riddled 2025, this team has managed to stay healthy so far and have managed an identical record to Townville with 8 wins, 1 loss and 2 no results. At the team level, they have scored the 4th most runs whilst losing the fewest wickets, accruing 36 batting bonus points so far. This is quite impressive given that they have scored 655 fewer runs than Newfoundland, yet they have only 1 fewer batting bonus point than their rivals. When it's been their turn to bowl, no team has taken more than Woodlands' tally of 93 so far, and they lead the league with 37 bowling bonus points so far. Their record against their 4 title competitors is strikingly similar to Townville's, with 1 home win versus Pudsey St Lawrence, but also 1 rough defeat against bitter rivals Newfoundland in week 6. Rain affected and effectively ended their matches versus Townville and Bingley before getting close to a result. With 2 home games against Newfoundland and Townville to come, alongside away journeys to St Lawrence and Bingley, they will hope for a better haul of points from them than the 38 points they mustered from those first 4 games, which is the second lowest amongst these 5 teams. At an individual level, we can clearly see how valuable Brad Schmulian remains to his side with 341 runs and 27 wickets. Their success in the batting department has been driven significantly by their formidable top 3 of Schmulian, Mohsin Hussain and Matty Weston, who all feature in the top 20 run scorers in the division. Henry Pearson has also emerged as a valuable all-round contributor with 264 runs and 19 wickets, and he has played some valuable innings when Woodland's top order has failed to fire. Their 4 batters with over 250 runs is the second highest in the league behind Townville. They also have the experienced Tim Jackson and destructive Mohammed Bilal, who have made some clutch contributions with the bat when needed. On the bowling front, we have seen the return to form of Mohammed Bilal make a big difference with both the new and old ball to support the pressure applied by Schmulian and Pearson. The addition of Noah Priestley this season has added another valuable wicket-taking seam bowling option, with 11 wickets so far. In terms of potential weaknesses, the main question marks all stem from their defeat versus Newfoundland in week 6. When faced with chasing a large target, Woodlands never really looked close to keeping up with the rate for large periods, and given that both Newfoundland and Townville have been strong with the bat this season, they may need to have better plans in place for similar chases in the second half of the season. Last season's unbeaten champions Newfoundland will not be repeating that remarkable feat this season, following their defeat against Bradford and Bingley in week 3. However, they remain very much in the title race this season, just 4 points back from Woodlands and Townville at this halfway mark. Similarly to Woodlands and Townville, they too have 8 wins, 1 loss and 2 no results from their first 11 games. Team-wise, this team has been utterly dominant with the bat, racking up 2,644 runs, by far the most in the division, in fact 356 more than their nearest rival in Townville. They have also lost the second fewest wickets whilst batting, leading to them picking up 37 batting bonus points so far. However, they have not been quite as strong with the ball as their 4 competitors, taking the fewest wickets of these teams and accruing the fewest bowling bonus points with 32, which is 3 fewer than any other team in the top 5. They have accrued more points from their matchups against their rivals so far this season, 53 on the back of wins away at Pudsey St Lawrence and at home versus Woodlands. The last ball defeat at home versus Bingley will have stung and cost them their unbeaten record, whilst they may have been more fortunate to escape with no result against Townville in week 4. With 3 of their 4 home games already completed, they would have hoped for more than 1 win to show for it. It puts more pressure on them for the away games to come. In the next 6 weeks, they will play all 4 of their games against their title rivals. They will be looking to put down a marker in these games to keep them in the hunt for the final weeks of the season. On an individual level, it is impossible to ignore the almost record-setting pace that Steve Bullen is setting with 717 runs so far, almost eclipsing Nick Connolly's 726 run tally for Ossett at this same stage in 2022. But he is not alone, with Ryan McKendry and Aidan Langley both scoring over 450 runs so far this season, putting them 5th and 7th in the division rankings respectively. What may be a little concerning is that no other batter so far has scored at least 250 league runs yet this season, but we have seen some valuable knocks from Alex Lilly, Max Chaplin and Fletcher Coates in recent weeks to help secure some close wins. With the ball, Abhay Negi has demonstrated his class once more with 19 wickets for his side, whilst Gurman Randhawa has also chipped in with 15 to break into the top 20 wicket takers in the division. Last season's top wicket taker Adam Ahmed has had a more subdued start to this season than he would have liked, with just 11 wickets. Just 3 bowlers taking at least 10 wickets so far, which is 1 fewer than Woodlands and 2 fewer than Townville. Newfoundland will be needing to pick this up in the second half to avoid falling behind. And this is certainly their most apparent weakness at this halfway point. They have struggled at times to consistently bowl out opposition teams, costing them some valuable bonus points. Particularly when you look at Game 10, when ninth place Morley were able to bat first and put up 264 for 5 against them. This is definitely a troubling sign, but with the strength of their batting, they'll be hoping to continue to secure wins and not have to worry about bonus points when it comes to the end of the season calculations. Now we turn our attention to the first of the two more unexpected title challenges this season in Pudsey St Lawrence. After spending more of last season worried about relegation in the top half of the table, St Lawrence bounced back from an opening day defeat to Newfoundland to record 8 wins alongside 2 further defeats from their 11 games. Unlike the previous 3 teams mentioned, St Lawrence have had no games lost due to rain. In those weeks they were able to secure fast wins against Farsley and Jare Lane before the weather could intervene, which has helped keep them in this title race despite those 2 more defeats. At a team level, they have scored the 5th most runs in the league so far and lost the 5th fewest wickets, as they've gone on to accrue 32 batting bonus points so far. With the ball, they have been more competitive, taking the 3rd most wickets with 89 and picking up 35 bowling bonus points. Their track record against their title rivals in the first half of the season has been poor, with 3 defeats, 2 of which were at home, and a solitary win away at Bradford and Bingley, leading to the team only picking up a total of 29 points from these matches, which is by far the worst. They will need to improve in the second half of the season, starting with their rematch away versus Newfoundland next week. On an individual level, Mark Robertshaw has been crucial to St Lawrence's chances with the bat. With 573 runs, he is 3rd amongst all Prem batters, but he is his side's only representative in the top 20 run scorers. Ricky and Josh Priestley are both just outside that group, just shy of 300 runs each for the season, and they will be hoping to support Robertshaw in the crucial games to come. With the ball, overseas signing Ankit Sharma has been a revelation, leading the league with 31 wickets so far, and he has been ably supported by Archie Scott with 23. New signing Oliver Stace has started to pick up a few more wickets recently, with 11 for the season. Their spinners have been crucial towards the overall success of the team. As mentioned already, this side has benefited from some good fortune with the weather, but results count the same however they come, and that may have been the luck this young team needed to believe they could truly compete for the title this year. If they are to do that, they will need to improve their record against their rivals in the coming weeks. Opposing teams know just how crucial Robertshaw and Sharma have been to their success so far, so it will be up to St Lawrence's other contributors to step up in critical moments, like Ricky Priestley did last season in the Priestley Cup semi-final victory over Newfoundland, if they're to overcome this weakness and potentially sustain their somewhat unlikely title challenge. Lastly, we come to the team in 5th place, which is Bradford and Bingley, a team who charged up the table in the second half of last season and have carried that momentum through into this title challenge this year. Unlike all their other rivals, Bingley have managed just 7 wins so far this season to go with 3 defeats and 1 game lost to rain. This has led to them being 13 points adrift of St Lawrence in 4th place and 27 behind the league leaders, but certainly not out of the fight just yet.
This success has been very much built on the strength of their bowling attack, taking the 2nd most wickets with 93 and picking up 35 bowling bonus points. With the bat, they have scored the 9th most, or rather the 4th fewest runs in the division, whilst losing the 3rd fewest wickets. This has left them picking up only 28 batting bonus points, 10 fewer than Townville, which is the lowest of the top 5 teams.
Like Newfoundland, Bingley have managed 2 wins against their title rivals, with the last ball win against Newfoundland in week 2, and then followed it up the week later with a comeback victory at home against Townville. These wins were even more impressive as they were achieved without the support of their star overseas pace bowler, whose entry into the UK had been delayed. A painful home loss to Pudsey St Lawrence in week 7 will be looked back on as a lost opportunity after reducing St Lawrence to 107 for 5 after 25 overs, batting first. And a rain-abandoned match away at Woodlands meant that Bingley came away from these 4 games with 48 points, second most of the top 5 teams. Individually, Ben Moffat and Joe Pyra have led the way and been the 12th and 16th highest run scorers in the division respectively. Skipper Jacob Slater has also managed 266 runs for his side, but that is just over half the tally he managed at this point last season, when he was the 2nd highest run scorer in the division. It is on the bowling side of the statistics where the team truly shows their threat, with Archie Barraclough proving to be capable of leading the attack with 25 wickets, and 3 other bowlers taking at least 13 wickets so far this season. Jack Hartley returning to fitness as well, Bingley have one of the fastest and most threatening pace attacks in the division, fully capable of blowing through any top order on their day. In terms of weaknesses, Bingley are the only team in the top 5 to have lost a match to a non-top 5 team when they were beaten by Farsley in week 10, which leaves them playing catch-up at this point. With their pace-heavy approach, they have also faced over-rate challenges, which has already cost them 2 additional points this season. This side will need their batters to add some more runs, or continue to hope that their bowlers can run through their rivals if they're to have much chance of sustaining this title challenge as the season comes to its end. Now we've looked at the 5 sides and the reasons they may or may not be successful in this title race, we are going to look more into the past 4 seasons for any indicators to help those of you still unsure about who may be in the driving seat at this stage. Looking at team performances, you can see here that it may not be great news for Newfoundland, as the team who has scored the most runs at the halfway point has never won the league during this time. Whilst the team with the most wins has a 50% success rate in winning the league, given we have 4 teams tied on the same number this season, it'd almost be more of a surprise if none of them won it at this stage. So good luck to Bradford and Bingley. Picture isn't much rosier for the top wicket takers, with Woodlands in 2023 being the only one to end up winning the title, or for the team who has lost the fewest wickets, with Newfoundland regularly scoring well in this area, but only picking up the title in 2025. Looking at where the last 4 champions ranked at this point in the season, you can see that it's general all-round strong performance rather than statistical dominance that is key. Were Newfoundland to win the league this season, they would be doing so with the fewest wickets taken at this stage in the last 5 years. Similarly, both St Lawrence and Bingley would do the same for the areas where they're performing more poorly. On an individual note, Newfoundland would be breaking precedent again with a title win, as the team who has had the top run scorer at the halfway point has never gone on to win the league during this period. Similarly, the team with the top wicket taker has not managed to win the league, which is bad news for Ankit Sharma and Pudsey St Lawrence. Over this period, each title-winning side has had at least 2 batters in the top 20 run scorers, and typically at least 2 bowlers in the top 20 wicket takers as well. The only exception to this is Newfoundland in 2024, who only had 1 wicket taker in that ranking, which was Yasser Abbas. So, what have we actually learned? Whilst I hope this video has provided some interesting insight and trends to watch out for, one cannot escape the fact that this year there are 3 teams all performing well in line with where previous champions have been in the last 4 years, along with 2 wildcards who have the bowling attacks in particular to cause trouble to their rivals. Popular saying often goes that it's not about how you start, but how you finish, and this could not be more true in such a tight contest as this one. Unless one team can manage the feat of sweeping all 4 of their remaining matches with their rivals, there is bound to be enough variance and volatility to keep this title race unpredictable right up to the end. I'm certainly looking forward to watching it, so keep watching this channel for highlights and more stats pieces from me as the season moves on towards its conclusion. And lastly, on a personal note, this was a very new thing for me to try. I hope some of you found it interesting, and for the 5 captains who I'm sure will be taking keen notes on everything that I've put down, you're welcome. If you would like to see more content like this, please do leave a like or comment below. It will really help this channel grow, and I would greatly appreciate it. But until next time, thank you very much for watching.